Hey everyone, good morning. Today did the weekly guidance and I did a little check-in. Sitting here. Actually, I'm on a tree. It's laying over an old riverbed. Maybe I should just show you. I'm on this old tree that is essentially straddling the riverbed. And this is where I did my meditation this morning. And this is where our weekly guidance came from. So I just did a little check-in, connected to the earth, called in Heavenly Father, and I just asked, what do we need to know today for our highest good as it relates to the week ahead? And then I asked for the energy that is kind of around right now, like kind of around us or surrounding the week, where we can be into our power or where we can step into our power this week. I asked, what does Spirit want to bring to our awareness that maybe we're not seeing clearly? And the last bit is kind of what happens if we integrate the information this week that comes through. So the first bit that came through is when I asked, kind of what's the energy around right now? And it felt like there was quite a bit of what I would call just kind of activity, a little bit chaotic, maybe disorganized is the right word because of the way the rest of the message came in. But it was kind of like things were just a little bit all over the place. There was a lot of energy all over the place. So then when I asked, well, where are we in our power? Or where can we step into our power? And that's where I got a little bit more organization and structure. And then when I asked what wants to be brought to our awareness that we're not seeing clearly, and I got that our connection to Spirit and integrating a spiritual perspective into that organizing capacity, and then where does this take us? If we integrate this energy, it takes us to a feeling of what I would call stability, but also just a groundedness, just a groundedness in more being. So to kind of sum up the way that all came through and the way that strikes me is that this week, look at areas of your life that maybe feel like they're a little bit out of control. They're a little bit chaotic. They are a little bit scattered, where energy is kind of going all over the place. Look at those areas of your life, and then think about getting into meditation and incorporating really kind of like your spirituality into providing some sort of like structure for yourself. For example, I meditate every single day. It's the first thing that I do. On most days, it's the first thing that I do when I wake up. Sometimes there's a delay. Sometimes I eat breakfast and I go on a hike or whatever, and then I meditate. But I always get a meditation in usually before 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. That's something that I've already done. So that would be an example of providing some sort of spiritual structure to the day. But also to kind of expand on that, the other bit about this is, I think, looking to our higher self and our guidance for wisdom on how do we bring a little bit more stability and sort of focused attention to what we're doing on our day-to-day. And what comes out of that is a lot more groundedness, a lot more stability, but more so what I felt was like a sense of like contentment and just kind of being, and like a little more steady is the word I would use. A little more steady. Maybe that's the right word. Like grounded and steady is what the energy felt like. So again, look at any place in your life where you feel like things are maybe a little hectic, a little frantic, and rely on your spiritual practice, rely on your spiritual discipline to bring in some groundedness and to bring in maybe some ideas or wisdom around how do we most focus this energy and attention, how do we best use our time and energy in a way that allows us to feel very grounded, very present, and very and just kind of steady on the day-to-day. That way we don't feel like it's frantic. That way we don't feel like we're being pulled all kinds of different directions. So this doesn't mean that we can't juggle multiple projects or multitask or do lots of different things, but it's about incorporating a little bit of stability and some discipline. And it seems to be connected more to kind of like a spiritual discipline. Bringing a disciplined approach to stabilizing and steadying our day-to-day, our work, our life, our schedules, and feeling just a little more grounded and present in that, so we don't feel like we're being pulled all kinds of different directions. So that's the guidance for the week. In the areas of our life that are a little scattered, we can step into a little more organization, a little more stability, a little more steadiness. That's where we're in our power this week. Incorporate your spirituality, incorporate your spiritual discipline, allow that to kind of permeate your choices, to ground them and help you organize and focus your energy and attention so that you can be the most effective and most connected and present with everything that you engage in. And hopefully where we end up on the end of the week is feeling just a little more steady, a little more grounded, a little more present. So let me know how this lands for you. Let me know which parts of your life are feeling a little wonky, a little scattered, a little all over the place. And let me know how this guidance lands for you, and maybe even how you integrate it, how that pays off. I would love to hear. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. I look forward to seeing you next week. Adios.